Stella and Nnamdi sat under the mango tree holding hands. It was almost midnight and they were able to perform the rites that would seal their love for each other forever. The young lovers were about to take a blood oath. "Stella," Nnamdi called, "I promise never to leave you in this life or the next. You are mine and I'm yours forever," he said before cutting his finger and giving Stella the blood droplets to drink. "Nnamdi, my love," said Stella, "I promise never to leave you in this life or the next. You are mine and I'm yours forever." She also cut her finger and gave Nnamdi the droplet to drink. With this act, they had completed the blood oath and their spirit was forever entwined. 10 years had gone by since that fateful day Nnamdi and Stella had taken that blood oath. They had seen it in a movie as children and had decided to reenact the ritual the same way the lovers did. To Stella, their actions were just two 11-year-olds copying what they saw on television. But for Nnamdi, it was more. Stella was about to marry Chief Daji, a wealthy merchant based in Lagos. She had betrayed him. She had forgotten their love and, most importantly, their vow to each other. He'll make her remember. He'll make her return to him. How could he go on without his Stella? No, she must come back, Nnamdi thought to himself as he rushed out of his house, running to Stella's family home. At the Okono's compound, Nnamdi met Stella outside the main gate. She was about to leave for the evening mass. He rushed up to her and grabbed her from behind. "Stella, please, my love, don't do this to me. Please remember our love." Startled, Stella turned around. She saw the weeping man behind her. She was disgusted. "Nnamdi, please stop this madness. Don't let my mom come out and see you here. What is this? Since when did it become by force to love someone?" She yelled with venom in her tongue. "What has come over you, Stella? Please tell me the truth. It's me, Nnamdi," he said. And so Stella snapped back. "What do you now want me to do? Yes, we had a little crush when we were young, but I've grown out of it, and you should too. Love is not by force. Go out there and find someone else for this madness." Nnamdi could not believe it was the same Stella he knew. He was devastated. This was too much for him to take. Stella watched as a dejected and heartbroken Nnamdi disappeared at the end of the street. Had she been too harsh? She thought to herself. No, she had to do it. He has to forget their love and move on, even though she still loved him more than anything in the world. Stella's wedding to Chief Daji was the talk of the town. It was as if every important person was on the occasion. Two-Face, Bovi, and even Sunny Ade performed at the wedding. It was Stella's dream come true. She had never been happier, but her happiness would come to a screeching halt just 6 weeks later. Chief Daji had kissed her goodbye one Saturday morning. He played basketball with his friends during the weekend, and today was no exception. "Stella, my darling, I had this weird dream. You remember that small boy you used to date before I came in to rescue you? I saw him in a dream last night. Have you been in contact with him recently?" "Ah, my everything, no now. Why will I go back to that, my vomit? I have not spoken to him at all in forever." She replied, "No problem, my darling. I just wanted to be sure because of my dream." A few hours after he left, Stella received a call from one of the chief's friends. "Stella, Daji is dead. He just slumped on his own and didn't get up." Stella's world came crashing down. A year later, Stella would remarry. She was young and didn't need to let the death of Chief Daji tie her down. She got married to Segun, a wealthy managing director of a tech company. They were happy together and he worshipped the ground she walked on. But 6 weeks into their marriage, cracks began to form in their marriage. Segun began seeing hallucinations of a man almost everywhere he went to. He talked to Stella about it, and to her dismay, the man's description fit that of Nnamdi. Stella didn't know what to do. How could this man who had never seen or known about Nnamdi be having visions of him? Still within the week, Segun's assistant went into his office to inform him about a meeting coming up in few hours. What she saw would leave her traumatized for life. It was the lifeless body of Segun, with his eyes in his hands as though he gorged them out himself. Her screams rang throughout the entire complex. It would take another 3 years this time before Stella would remarry. Her new husband, Obi, was just as rich as her previous spouses. He even owned a significant share in the American company Apple. Stella had to relive her nightmare, as just like clockwork, on the 6th week of her marriage, Obi started having visions of Nnamdi. Stella was prepared this time. She and Obi decided they stay indoors for the duration of the week, and so they did. It was a fantastic week for Stella. She had her husband home for an entire week, with the maids attending to every one of their wishes. On Saturday night, Obi spoke to Stella as they lay in bed. "You see, love, there's nothing to worry about. I told you, you were just being paranoid. I'm not like those other men. Me, I am Obi Ozioko Macaulay, a true son of the soil," he said as they both laughed. "All right, love, I hear you. I'm just happy that we made it past the curse. We'll go to church tomorrow to give thanks. Anything for my tomato choice." And with that, they both went to bed. Stella woke up to a bright day. The sun was shining and she was well rested. She turned to wake Obi up from sleep, but he refused to budge. He just lay there lifeless. Stella put her hand to his nose and there was nothing. He wasn't breathing. He was dead. Stella screamed. Autopsy reports would later reveal that stomach acid had somehow made their way into his heart and dissolved it. It was a medical mystery doctors could not explain. 2 years after Obi's death, Stella met a new love, John. He was as rich as they came. Stella was also rich, having amassed massive wealth from her old marriages. But John was on another level. She didn't reveal her past marriages to him, as she was afraid it would scare him away. Who would want a woman that's cursed? However, 6 weeks after the marriage, John started having visions of Nnamdi. John sat down, not believing his ears, as the woman he loved with all his heart told him about her grievous past. He wasn't sure for the next 2 days. All her previous husbands had died mysteriously, and he wasn't looking to add himself to that list. He eventually confided in his mother about the situation, and she too couldn't believe what she was hearing. How could her son have married a woman who has 3 husbands, let alone husbands that all died mysteriously? John's mother couldn't sit and watch her only son die, so she started looking for solutions to save him. She went to the Dibia in her hometown, who revealed that Stella knew why her husbands were dying. She immediately confronted Stella and her son about this revelation. On hearing this, Stella broke in tears. "Yes, I know why they died. I had hoped it wasn't true." She recounted the story of the blood oath she had taken with Nnamdi and how she had broken her promise. Obi and his mother were shocked. All 3 would later return to Dibia. "We have to perform some rites to break the oath between them," said the medicine man. "But the man has to be here." With this new instruction, the couple traveled down to Enugu from Lagos in hopes of convincing Nnamdi to break the oath. But alas, only a shocking news met their arrival. Nnamdi had died years ago. He had died the day after coming to plead with Stella. After informing the Dibia about the new development, he instructed that they need to kill Nnamdi's spirits by burning his body. John was running out of time. He only had 2 days before the week was up. The visions were getting stronger, and he could feel a dread enveloping his heart. On the last day, John managed to get hold of Nnamdi's body. He rushed to perform the rituals as fast as possible, and it was only a few hours before midnight. He recited the incantations the Dibia gave him, poured the spirit on the body, some gasoline, and set a match to the body. But something felt wrong. Instead of relief, he felt immense panic, as if something was coming. He looked at the body and almost died of shock. It was Nnamdi's spirit hovering in the air. "Why have you done this to me? All I've ever done is to try to warn you," the spirit said. "I had to," John replied. "It was the only way to break the oath. You were killing Stella's husband and would have killed me too." The spirit looked at John but with pity. "I haven't been killing Stella's husband. She has been killing them herself for their money. Stella is a mami water, and she will kill you too. The oath we took created a connection between us, which allowed me to appear to her husband, but nothing more. You need to." Nnamdi's voice was cut short as the fire suddenly engulfed his body. John could not believe what he just heard. He had to act fast. He ran as fast as he could towards his car. Then he heard it, Stella's voice calling him. He looked back, But what he saw chilled him to his bones. It was his wife, but she had horns and was flying towards him.